All right, we're bringing you a special report today on what could be Apple's biggest move in AI, well, ever. You know, for years, the story has been that Apple is playing catch-up, but now it looks like the company is finally ready to show its hand. With a master plan, we're talking a complete reinvention of Siri and a new version of iOS designed to totally change how we interact with our phones. And let's be clear, this quote you're seeing, that's not just hype. All the signs are pointing to Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference being a massive landmark event. This is where we're expecting them to unveil a huge reboot of their core software, with AI right at the very center of it all. And the centerpiece of this entire thing? It's the Siri we've all been waiting for, a completely reinvented Siri. We're not talking about some minor update here. No, this is a ground-up reimagining of what a personal assistant can actually be, finally delivering on a promise Apple made, over a decade ago? The scale of this upgrade is it's monumental. This isn't just an evolution, it's a whole new species. The old Siri, it could set a timer or maybe tell you the weather. This new Siri is being designed as a true AI agent. It's meant to understand your personal context and pull off complex, multi-step actions across your apps. So think less voice assistant and more co-pilot for your entire digital life. So how are they going to pull this off? Well, it starts with a brand new standalone Siri app, which creates a central hub for all your AI interactions, kind of like you'd see with ChatGPT. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is the system-wide integration. We're talking true on-screen awareness, pop-ups in the dynamic island, and even a little Ask Siri button that shows up in other apps, making the AI just there whenever you need it. Okay, so what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's take a super common scenario. A friend texts you about a great dinner they made and recommends you try it. With the old Siri, trying to do anything with that information was basically a non-starter. We've all been there, right? That frustrating dead end. I'm sorry, I can't help with that. Siri could understand the words, sure, but it had no clue about the intent or the context. It just couldn't connect the dots between your messages, your calendar, and your shopping list. But with the new Siri, it acts like an agent working on your behalf, so you can chain these requests together. It'll understand who Jane is from your contacts, find that specific message with the recipe, cross-reference it with your calendar to see when you're free, and then pull all the ingredients and add them to your grocery list, all from one single complex command. That is a complete game changer. Of course, all of this incredible new intelligence needs a rock-solid foundation to stand on. And that's exactly where iOS 27 comes in. Think of it as the stable ground on which this entire AI revolution is being built. Now, for those of you who remember, comparing this to Mac OS X Snow Leopard is a really big deal. That was a legendary release. It didn't focus on flashy new visuals or anything. Instead, it was all about massive under-the-hood optimizations that made the entire system faster and way more reliable. And that's exactly the playbook for iOS 27. This means Apple's engineers are going deep into the code, stripping out old legacy stuff and optimizing the system from top to bottom. The end goal? A noticeably faster, more efficient experience for everyone with better battery life, all while laying the groundwork for future hardware like, maybe even a foldable iPhone. Which leads to a really fascinating question. For years, Apple has prided itself on building everything in-house. But as this AI race has just exploded, is that still their strategy? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. As it turns out, Apple isn't trying to build the one AI model to rule them all. Instead, it's making a massive strategic pivot. The new playbook is to position the iPhone not as a device with a single AI, but as the central platform for all the best AIs out there. Just think about that for a second. Apple is turning what everyone thought was a weakness, being behind in the chatbot race, into a huge strategic strength. By controlling the hardware and the ecosystem, they can become the essential gateway, the one place where you access all these different powerful AI services. And here's what that looks like in practice. For its default out-of-the-box smarts, the new Siri will reportedly be powered by Google's incredibly powerful Gemini model. But, and this is the key, through a new extension system, you'll be able to plug in other models, like ChatGPT or maybe Anthropic's Claude. It's effectively creating an AI app store right inside Siri, and you get to choose the best tool for whatever job you're doing. So how does Apple even manage all this? How do they balance the raw power of these huge cloud models with their core values, like privacy and speed? Let's take a look at the tech that makes this whole hybrid approach possible. Apple is essentially running two engines of intelligence at the same time. There's a powerful on-device model that runs directly on your iPhone's chip. This is for tasks that need to be instant and totally private, like summarizing your notifications. But for the really heavy lifting, like a complex research question, it can seamlessly hand that task off to a powerful server-based model from one of its partners in the cloud. And if you look at some recent benchmarks, you can see exactly why Apple might have partnered with Google. In these head-to-head tests on things like PhD-level reasoning and just basic factual accuracy, Google's Gemini Pro consistently comes out on top. That raw power is what's going to be fueling the core of this new Siri experience.
But hey, don't count Apple's in-house work out. This chart is absolutely fascinating. It shows how satisfied people were with email summaries. And look at that. Apple's own highly efficient on-device model actually outperforms larger, well-known open-source models. This proves that for a lot of your everyday tasks, Apple's small, fast, and private model is absolutely best in class.
So, we've gone through the tech, the strategy, and the big new features. Let's bring it all back to the most important question. What does this actually mean for you and how you use your iPhone every single day? First things first, when can you get your hands on it? The official announcement is expected at WWDC in early June. After that, developer and public betas will probably roll out over the summer for testing. And then the final public version of iOS 27 should be released to everyone in the fall, right alongside the new iPhones. Okay, so if you only take away 4 things from all this, make it these. 1. Siri is about to become genuinely smart and actually useful. 2. Thanks to that Snow Leopard focus of iOS 27, your iPhone is going to feel faster and more stable. 3. You'll get to choose from the world's best AI models, not just what Apple gives you. And 4. That new standalone Siri app is going to be your new hub for getting things done. Which leaves us with one final big thought. For the last couple of years, everyone's been saying Apple is playing catch-up in AI. But with this new platform strategy, are they just catching up? Or are they quietly changing the entire rules of the game, positioning the iPhone to be the one indispensable hub for the whole AI era? That is the billion-dollar question.